Well, Bob, something I've enjoyed about visiting the History Center is its emphasis on what some will call popular culture, but it's some of those things that I find very nostalgic.
Some people call it popular culture, and we use that name, but to me, it's more personal than that because it's shared memory. Something that you and I and the people out there watching this show all can share within our lifetimes, our memory. Well, we remember the people on television, the records we've listened to, the images of our popular culture. When we can connect with people through shared culture, then I can take them off to the story of the broadcast industry, going back to TV in 1949 or radio in 1921. Or I can take them off to Wild West shows with the Miller Brothers or Pawnee Bill, and then up through Tom Mix and the Westerns of Ben Jonson and other Oklahomans. So shared memory is a way to get into history. And we have a new exhibit on popular culture and shared memory, which is the rock and roll story, which is at the History Center, will be for the next year. And we want to take this story of rock and roll and country and western music and the movies and radio and Route 66 and Wild West shows, all of this imagery, this shared memory that all of us are part of, and turn it into one museum that will have national and international appeal, something that will bring in the Germans, the Japanese, as well as the Californians, the Texans, and people from Oklahoma from all walks of life. And it's the Museum of Oklahoma Music and Popular Culture. We want this to be in the Brady District, halfway between the BOK Center and the new baseball park they're building in Tulsa. We want a place to showcase Woody Guthrie and Leon Russell and Jim Halsey, but also a place to showcase our people who have made it in movies. Mary Kay Place, who has been in so many movies and on TV, a writer. Her career is exceptional. Alfre Woodard, and it goes on and on. James Garner's. We want to show people what we have to offer the country.
And I think the History Center is a great example of if you build it, they will come. Because that museum, I think, has, in many ways, exceeded most people's expectations.
It has. It's a tool to do three things, and that's to collect, preserve, and share history. So when I'm working on your broadcast career, I get in your photographs, your story. Well, it's there to use today on a popular culture museum, but it's going to be there in 50 years as those people are trying to understand what we were going through at the beginning of the 21st century. So I have a real sense that what we're accomplishing today is just not judged a success or failure this week or next week, but in 20 years and in 50 years and 100 years. So we're affecting the way Oklahoma understands itself, the way we deal with our past and our future and where we are today. And popular culture is a big part of that because it draws people into the story. Then we can teach them so much more.
Let's wind up a little bit on just some final thoughts about the things as an historian you apply to today.
Well, one thing I believe in is the resiliency of Oklahomans and the fact that we are unlike any other state. Our history is unlike that of Kansas or Arkansas or Texas or even New Mexico. It is so unique because of the diversity of this state. And so as a historian, I can look at our diversity. Sometimes it works against us, apparently, because we have such diverse views. And so sometimes politics gets a little vitriolic. Sometimes people do not feel like they have a lot to share. So you get Oklahoma City versus Tulsa, or you get rural Oklahoma versus urban Oklahoma, or you get Indian Territory against Oklahoma Territory. Well, that diversity has worked against us. But I really believe that we've turned a corner, that diversity is now paying dividends because of the richness of our experience, that we have people who can think it's a trite phrase, but think out of the box, because this diversity will get people of different perspectives together to solve common problems. So the problems that Governor Henry and the legislative leaders are facing today are problems that can be solved by working with the farmers and ranchers of the old Cherokee Outlet, and working with the timber industry of McCurtain County, working with the military establishment at Fort Sill, and working with the Chamber of Commerce in Enid. And once we believe that this common destiny is shared by all of us, then I think that will encourage us to work together to overcome these differences, but to use our diversity and our differences to find innovations and to be this innovative, creative state. And so if I could put a word on Oklahomans, it might be creative. We have been able to come up with new solutions of solving problems, whether it's the weather and the environment, or it's overcapitalization or undercapitalization or declining world markets. We've got this resiliency and creativity to do something about it.
All right, Bob, I've certainly enjoyed the half hour, and thank you so much for being here.
It's good to be here. Thank you.